Yo, I just kind of just want to get on here. I was recently I was just before I got on here I was listening to a video because lately I've been kind of like trying to I've been trying to challenge myself to listen to different different thoughts on like belief systems, like because I'm not, I try not to be so naive to think that my way of thinking is the only way of thinking. I know that my way of thinking works for me, uh, but I know it's also different things, new things that I could learn. So I just been like recently challenging myself to, like, so for example, I grew up from a Christian based way of thinking. Nothing wrong with that. Like for every culture, it's a for every culture it's a just you're gonna learn something a little bit different. Like it's just gonna be in a different way. Uh, but I'm not naive to think like who am I to say that just because the person don't think like me or anything like that. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like, and this is what he was kind of saying in the video. It's the power of not knowing. When you understand you don't know everything, you're open to learning more because it's like I don't know everything. I don't know everything. So I'm not even gonna act like I know everything. The the topic you could grab this from like just the title of the video. The title of the video was like were we really created by God? That's a difficult question to ask, or a topic to even listen to, because for me, I grew up I grew up like spiritual based, so like for you to even say that, that's questioning my whole belief system. Uh, but I do understand, but I do understand. I never died before, so I don't truly know, and it's a power in not knowing, because you could learn different things. Like for me, God is enough. Like God and different religious beliefs. These are just ways to really understand this social structure that we've been born into, that we just truly don't know. Like one thing that I truly believe though, that I know that I would like, I just know that I connect with. I'm a spiritual being. Spiritual beings just, I'm not religious, but I do read. I do have a. I just have a spirit. I just have a religious background, but I don't consider myself a religious person. I'm really just a spiritual being, and that just means for me, knowing that I could look at somebody and understand that it's just not physical. It's more. It's more. It's more. I'm not. I'm not just in front of you. It's more than what you just see. It's energy behind that. It's a it's a soul behind that. Like what you see me as is just who I am right now. Like you see me as a black man. You see me as a young man. You see me as this. Like this is just what you see me as. But spirituality comes in when you realize that it's more than just physical. Like I'm not gonna always be here. So what's gonna happen to this energy that's in this body? I don't believe that. They say energy never dies. They say energy never dies. It just transfers. So that's where spirituality comes in. At once you start understanding that it's more than just physical that you're looking at. Like it's not just what you see. It's more to it. Uh, but it's also a power in not knowing. Like I never, bro. None of us ever experienced death before, because if so, you would not be seeing me right now. Like you would not be listening to me right now. I've never experienced death, so I don't truly know. I have a I grew up on a religious belief that kind of allowed me to wrap my mind around things of that sort, but truly we do not know. So who am I, or who are we, to kind of like, I was looking at videos earlier on like I guess like views on like who, like what atheist people believe in, and I found myself like just kind of, I was so confused. Like I'm like, bro, alright, but I'm like, okay, that's something that they could wrap their mind around. I just can't wrap my mind around that. Like I don't know, so I stick with what I stick to. But I just want us to understand it's a power in not knowing. we don't truly all know. So I don't fully agree with. I'm not gonna lie. I don't fully agree with religion. I don't like. I don't fully agree with religion. Like I believe. I believe in God. For me, is just all right. I grew up in church. This is one thing that they always said in church. God is good. God is good. For me, like when I heard like, cause recently I've been actually reading into my Bible. When they say things like that, for me that just means God is everything good. So you could relate that to being like good energy, good vibes, like good. God is everything good. So whatever you think in your head that is good, that's what you could relate God to, because God is peace, God is love. These are good things that we experience: love, peace, kindness, joy, healthy, wealthy. These are good things that we like. God is everything good, and the notion of the devil for me is everything that takes away from that. That's why I post things like anything that takes away your peace, let it go, let it go. Because I believe we do supposed to be operating like spaces like this. You're supposed to feel good about yourself. You're supposed to be growing and developing. You're supposed to look at yourself as if you could do better. These are things that's good. You're supposed to operate in God, like operate in God, because God operates in you. But you also have, this is when they talk about like, when you go into the like religious teaching on it, that's why they call it spirit and flesh. You're split. You're like, your flesh tugs at the spirit, and I look at flesh as being. I guess you could look at flesh as being bad. Like that's just your. You ever, for example, let's. What's the example with this? Have you ever like got a feeling like you wanted to go somewhere, but something like inside of you telling you like, nah, bro, like nah, you ain't supposed to do. Like, but then you fight against that intuition, and then something bad happened, like you, or you like, man, I knew I shouldn't have came here, or I knew I wasn't supposed to be in this situation, or like I ain't gonna lie, I just recently had like a situation, like a relationship that I was in, like that I knew I probably shouldn't be entertaining anymore based upon our different mindsets. I knew that eventually we was gonna start bashing heads. And once that started happening, I'm like, bro, I knew I shouldn't have been putting my energy into that. But that was my flesh fighting against my spirit, because your spirit knows what it wants. Like your spirit wants everything good that's peaceful, but your flesh kind of tugs at that. And you're in the like that's why they say, though we don't fight against flesh and blood, but against principalities. They say that in the Bible, bro. We don't fight against I'm not fighting against my brother and my sister. We fighting against spirits, like souls, like energies. That's what we're fighting against. So your flesh tugs at your spirit every time. So that's why they like, I was just reading the book and they say that like the we're not like, the battles that we're fighting the most goes on in between our ears, which is our mind, our thoughts. Uh I believe our thoughts shape our life. Like the things that you think, like if you're thinking about negative energy all the time, then that's the energy that flows through you. But if you're thinking positive, like light, like I'm speaking life now, because that's what I want to live in. I want to live in peace. I want to live in joy. I want to live in happiness. That doesn't mean I'm not going to experience the negative things, but I don't want to. It's just we fight wars against ourselves. Like it's literally our flesh tugging against our spirit every single time. Like, and that these are really the wars that we're fighting. It's not against each other. It's just what's going on in our head, and we got to learn how to cope with that. But I thought that was an interesting topic. I'm talking about like just the power of not knowing. And once you admit that you truly don't know, you're open to learning more. And that's all I want to do. I just want to learn and develop and grow, and take people on this journey as I'm on it. Yeah. But that's something I grabbed from today. I mean, if y'all listening, I hope y'all really took something from it too. It might be some people that disagree with this, but hey, I don't know. Who am I?